All right, guys, welcome to the Credit Game. My name is Mike. As always, every single day, Monday through Saturday, I'm coming to you with multiple videos every day. Why? Because I want you to learn credit. No one taught credit in school. No one taught credit to me as a kid. I didn't have, the best credit mentor. My parents really didn't care too much about credit. So unfortunately, I had to learn the hard way, just like you guys and a lot of people that I talk to. They get a credit card at 18 years old and they make their payments, and then, and then they fall apart because maybe they lost their job or they're not being paid enough or whatever the case is. They just can't make payments. And then when you're younger, you kind of make mistakes, and, it happens to the best of us. But there is good news. And that is that when I was, we're going back now, about 8 years ago, okay? 8 years ago, I started thinking about what I should do to fix my credit. Guys, I was at a 515 credit score. Today, an 829. And in between that time, and for the last 6 or 7 years, I've been in the 800s. But I created this game right here. And we call it a game because just like the legal system, just like a board game, just like, playing your kids in video games, it's all Monopoly and right, anything you play, you become good at. The more you play, the better you're going to get. And so a game is a game, right? And we want you to play a game, which is why I'm doing these videos every day for you, because I believe mentality-wise and subconsciously, if I'm coming to you and I'm in your head every day, eventually you're going to start to pick up some of the tips and the tricks and the strategies I'm telling you, and then ultimately you're going to be a better person at credit, right? And this is why it's daily, right? Because I believe also that if you do things every day, you'll get better as well, right? 10,000 hours of anything, any craft in your life, you're going to be really good at it. So if it's your first time on a channel, there is a subscribe button on either one of the sides here. Please click that. I want to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. And more importantly, guys, we grew the fastest credit channel in the history of credit in the nation in 2020. I'm asking for a thumbs up so we can continue to do videos. This helps the algorithm. This helps our organization to help you. Really, this is about you. It's not about me. I created this credit game for myself, and I've documented and really journaled everything along the way. So that way, ultimately, I would have a platform to put together to now bring back to the world and share with you guys. So a thumbs up is very much appreciated if you can find in your heart to do that. And then lastly, there's a bell. And then what that'll let you do is when the videos are coming in every day, you would select the word all. And that means when the videos are coming in, you're getting a notification. It's basically just a notification to say, hey, Mike did a video. I want to learn. I want you guys to watch the videos every day. There is a certain element of what I can do on videos versus in real life. And that's one of the things I want to talk to you today before we talk about a 100-point increase. And that is that as much as I do videos, and I love doing my videos every day, and I want to help as many people as possible, right? My mission is to raise the credit national average score right now, which is 667. I want to get it to over 700, and I'll do that in 2021 if we continue to blow up the credit game. But there's only a certain amount of what I can do in videos, right? So people are like, well, I watch your videos every day. And while that's great, there's some element of taking action that has to take place, right? Just like the old, I can bring a horse to water, but I can't make him drink, right? I can give you the tools to build your house, but I can't build it for you, right? I can tell you what you need to do to lose weight, but I can't get on the treadmill for you. These are things, I can tell you how to get to an 800, but I can't do it for you. You have to take action, okay? So while watching videos is great and you're learning, there's also an element of I have to take action so I can be a better person and get results, okay? Because videos are great, but if you don't do anything with them, they're just sinking in your mind, okay? That being said, fastest 100-point increase, 2 options, okay? Just like in money, right? You can do it a couple different ways. You can figure out a way to make $50,000 a year, and everybody will make $1 million in their lifetime, generally, average income, right? It's going to take you 20 years, 50,000 a year, 20 years. You'll make $1 million, okay? Or what you can do is figure out how to make $1 million in 1 year. And really all you're doing is just condensing the time from 20 years down to 1 year. It's the same thing with credit. You can either take 24 months to try to figure it out yourself, or use a monthly company that's going to drag you along, right? Sending out the letters. It's attractive because of the cost, right? Most people know the companies I'm talking about where they keep you on the hamster wheel. And but the part they don't tell you is how long you're going to be on that hamster wheel for, right? So 18 to 24 months is an average person that does credit repair, whether they do it themselves, which is even longer, or they go with a monthly company, or you can say, look, time is money, and I'm interested in condensing that time down, just like the analogy of the 50,000. Do you want to wait 20 years, or do you want to do it in 1 to 2 years? Same thing with credit. Do you want to take 24 months, or do you want to do it in 45 to 60 days? Okay, I'm going to show you an option after I give you 3 tips of things that you can do. I'm going to share with you 2 options that are going to help you condense your time to literally, instead of maxing out, because if you got 24 months, take your time, right? You have the legal right to do anything on your credit report you want. So, and then just like I say, sometimes, look, you can build your own house too. You can pull your own teeth, or you can try to, do your own heart surgery if you get, heart failure, or you can go to the professionals to have the help done. Choice is yours, right? So typically that's why there's professionals. Now, what that means is when you go to professionals, the work's going to be done right. It's going to be effective. It's going to be much faster, but there's a cost associated with it, right? There's not the free element. And even if you do it yourself, it's not free because you got your letters, right? And you're wasting time because you don't know what you're doing. That's why I come to you, okay? So how do we increase our credit score 100 points? There's 3 ways you can do it that are extremely fast. Number 1, you have to know that every collection or charge-off on your credit report is valued at somewhere around 20 to 25 points as long as it is under 2 years old. So if you're looking at your credit report and you see, all right, Mike, I've got something that's from 3 months ago, 5 months ago, 1 year ago, and 18 months ago, they're all under 2 years. So I'm going to be valuing each one of those collections at somewhere around 25 points. That's what it's affecting you. Okay, so when that collection is taken off, your score will go up approximately 25 points. Okay, because each one of those is valued at 25 points is what is holding you down. So once it's removed, your score goes up 25 points. Now, so the fastest way is to remove 5 collections that are under 2 years old. Okay, you can do 4. I say 20 to 25 points. 4 collections, 5 collections, somewhere in there. If they are removed off your credit report, your score will go up 100 points. And so we'll talk about in a minute, time versus money. This is a big question for a lot of people. Okay, so another way you can do this is this, and I'm going to tell you something. I gained 163 points in 3 days. Okay, I know you guys are like, well, I don't believe it. And I'll do a video to show you guys what I did, but I played the Tradeline game real well, okay? Besides running the #1 Tradeline company in the world, I kind of knew what to do, and I'm going to give you on some tips that you guys can do and kind of what to look for. But if you want to gain 100 points instantly, you have to think about this. Utilization, okay? So you want to know what your overall utilization is. Okay, let's say that your utilization on your credit. What that means is how much total credit limit you have on your credit cards versus how much you're using. Okay, so if you add up all your credit card limits and you end up with $5,000 and your debt between all the credit cards, if you add those up, is at $2,500, you have a 50% utilization. Okay, 10,000 credit card, let's just use one card, 10,000, you have a credit card for 10,000 and you only got $1,000 on that credit card as far as debt, you're at 10%. Okay, where you want to be is ideally under 20%, but I always say the magic number is 2. What I mean by that is if you can get all your credit cards down to 2% utilization, your scores will be extremely high. That's 30% of your overall scores based on utilization. So let's use a little trick strategy instead of saying, hey, most of my credit cards are maxed out, but I want to lower my utilization and raise my score. Okay, so here's what you can do. What you can do is you can add a high limit trade line. Okay, so let's give you an example. Let's say that you have a 10,000 credit card limit, a 3,000 credit limit, and a 1,000 credit limit. 3 credit cards. Okay, and I'm gonna try doing math with you guys here without a calculator. But let's say 10,000, 3,000, and 1,000. Okay, so we have 14,000 in total credit limit, and you owe 10,000 out of the 14. Okay, so you're probably at 65%. say 60 to 65% utilization, which is affecting your credit score tremendously. Now, here's the deal. What you can do is add a high limit trade line, authorized user, okay? So here's what I would do. Where you have a 10,000, a 3,000, a 1,000, and you owe $10,000, and you're like, I don't know how I'm ever going to raise my credit score because I don't have $10,000 to pay all these credit cards down. Here's what you can do. Let's say that you took a $40,000 authorized user trade line and added that to your credit report. Okay, so now here's how this works. Now you just added a brand new 40,000. So remember we were at 14? Now you have a 54,000 total credit limit, but your debt is only 10, right? So that puts you under 20% utilization. And I mean, you're gonna have a massive change in your credit score, okay? So when I'm saying the easiest way to get 100 points, this is a tremendous way. And I'm gonna show you how to combo this with part 2 bonus to actually get that 100 points. If that isn't good enough, what you could do, okay, is remember I told you to put that 40,000 on? Added a trade line for 40,000? What if you paired that, being that trade line had 15 years of history? Now I can almost promise you that your score is going over 100 points. And here's why I know that. I added a $60,000 trade line with 19 years. I got 163 points on my credit report. This literally brought me from the 500s to over the mid 6s, one trade line. Okay, so what is the fastest way to do it? I'm going to talk about condensing. If I were you and I had high utilization, okay, now this is only going to work for you guys that have high utilization, okay, is to gain 100 points, I'm going to put a very high trade line credit limit on, and I'm going to put a lot of age on. Now, if you are in a position where you don't have high utilization, because maybe you don't have any credit cards, or maybe you have one little baby boy, or maybe we talked about the baby boys, right? The $300 and the $500 credit, you know, Capital One, Credit One Bank, right? Horizon, you guys know what I'm talking about. If you guys have those, right, you haven't graduated to the big boys yet, then maybe you threw on something, you know, with a 20,000 credit limit, but you got the age. Age will always trump the credit limit when you're talking about trade line. So again, I would only use the 40,000 if my utilization was high. But if you don't have a lot of utilization on your credit cards, then you don't need a 40,000. You could probably go with a $15,000, $20,000 credit limit, but go with high age. So I still want you to be at 15 years plus. You put a trade line on for 15 years with 20,000, 30,000, or 40,000 credit limit, guys, you're getting 100 points. Unless you have 62 negatives on your credit report. Because what trade lines, you have to remember what trade lines is, depending on where you're getting them from, they're not a permanent fix. This is a Band-Aid that's going to stay on your credit report for probably 2 months, okay? But it gives you that window of opportunity. I'm trying to buy a car. I'm trying to get some credit cards. I'm trying to get a house. I'm looking to get a loan. I'm looking to finance something. Whatever the case is, you need your credit. I'm trying to get into an apartment, right? Whatever the case is you may need your credit for, this is in my opinion, the fastest way you're going to get 100 points is going to be by adding a high limit trade line with a lot of age. If you do it together. So, but if you're talking about not having high utilization, just get the age. Age trumps credit limit. So let me give you an example. If it's me, and I show you this in Associates, guys, I actually show you the exact same trade lines down to the bank that I used, the credit limits that I used, which banks are more powerful, what they call an A1 bank versus a A2 or a store bank. I show you exactly what lines. I show you what it means to add progression on your credit report. So that way when lenders pull your credit, it looks, it looks legit. Why? Because this is what I did for me, okay? Remember, again, I didn't build this for you guys. I built it and documented everything, what I did, and then put it into a course and said, hey, no one's ever taught me how to do this. It worked tremendously. I've gained, 300 and some points on my credit report. Let me share it with the world now. This works. I did it enough that where it works. How would you like to know what trade lines to get? Not just shooting willy-nilly like, okay, cool, I'm gonna buy a trade line. I got people that call me now that I wanna buy a trade line. What do you, dude, you're at a 520. What are you doing with a trade line? It's not gonna do anything. right? You got 16 negatives and you want to put one positive on like it's going to help you. It's not going to work. You can't push the fat down enough before putting one trade line on. It's not going to work. Right? Now, if you have one negative and you put 3 trade lines on, you see how that's different, right? I can push down one negative by putting 3 positives on. Now the positives look good. But you're in the 500, low 500s. You got like 16, 15, 10, even 10 negatives. And then you're like, I want to put a trade line. I'm like, well, what are you getting? Well, I want to get a $5,000 TD bank. It's got a year old. Oh, yeah. You'll certainly gain at least 3 points on that one, right? So you got to know what you're doing. All right, what are you guys doing? You don't even know what you're doing. You're talking about, I want to buy a trade line. Go invest, $500 on trade lines. It's going to be a waste. It's not going to do anything for you. So you have to know the trade line game. And again, inside my associates program, guys, I built it out for me and I show you exactly what to do, what lines to put on, what banks to go to, literally. And I even tell you where I went to get out of the baby boys. Because believe me, when I say I had the baby boy credit cards, I had the $300 Capital One, right? I make fun of it now, but I had it. I had the Capital One 300. They eventually, after about 6 months, they graduated me to 500, right? I had the Credit One Bank. They gave me $1,000 right off the rip and then moved it to 1,200. And, I had the Discover IT card that they gave me $3,000 for. I had the little baby cards. I had those and literally had to go through the steps of knowing what to do. So I show you how to go from there all the way up to today, $100,000 credit limits, right? Amex, $100,000. My Barclays, $58,000, right? My Citibank, $65,000. I show you guys how to get higher limits quicker. Again, you can take 24 months, 3 years to do it, or I can show you how to do it in my associates program, literally exactly what I did for me. So remember, having the right information and the right education is more powerful than anything. Because once you see what I did, you can go, okay, cool. Success leaves clues. I'm going to duplicate what Mike did. That's what my program is about, okay? That's why this thing is spreading like wildfire, because people are getting results and they're like, oh my God, this is crazy. How simple, but I didn't know. Because I play the game. I play the game every day. I know what to go for. So remember, 3 ways. You want to remove 4 to 5 charge-offs collections, okay? 20 to 25 points a piece, there's 100 points. You want to put a high limit trade line on, $30,000, $40,000 if you have high utilization, at least 15 years old. And if you don't have high utilization, the third thing you want to do is go with age. So I want at least 15 years. I don't really care too much about the credit limit, 10, 15, 20,000 is fine. Okay, that's going to help you get the 100 points. Now, if you've got collections and charge-offs, I don't recommend putting trade lines on unless you're getting it from a family member, because a family member can keep you on forever. They can add you forever, right? They're not going to take you off. If you're going through a vendor, my vendor, then guess what? They're going to take you off in about 60 days. So I want you to look and I want you to think, how many collections do I have? Okay. If you got any more than 3, definitely don't put a trade line on. If you got less than 3, then I'm going to share with you how to get trade lines at a significant discount, and you can start building off of that as long as they're over 2 years old. That's the other thing too. If you're going to put a trade line on, make sure your collections are older than at least 24 months old. At least 24 months. Anything newer than that, they got to come off. Okay. So 2 options. 1, $50,000 a year for 20 years, 100 points in the next 24 months, or you can do it in 90 days or less. Okay. Choice is yours. What's more important to you? Time or money? So put your credit score below, okay? Because when you guys put in comments, here's what I need. I need your middle score, not your. So if you got 3 bureau credit report, I want the middle score. If you're looking at Credit Karma, just give me one of them. Give me the Equifax. But I want to know your credit score. So just that's all I need is put your score, because I already know your name. I can see who you are when you put your comments in. Put your score below. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to recommend what you need to do, whether it's going with trade lines or the other option, what I'm going to talk about right now, is with our vendor inside the platform. I put the 2 best vendors in the world, one for elite credit repair and one for trade lines. Okay. So not only do I give you everything you need to know, so moving forward, you'll never be put in this position again with bad credit score and never have to pay credit repair coming again. But I put number 1 vendor in there for trade lines. Okay, 75% off any other competitor prices on trade lines. Not 3%, not 7%, not 10%. 75% off. Okay, they work directly with my company, and that is what you're going to get for discount. Just getting into the program, you're going to get that kind of huge discount for those age trade lines I just talked about. How would you like to get 75% off? Okay. Number 2 is the Elite Credit Repair. Okay. They now have 2 options. My vendor has 2 options so you can actually get credit repair done fast. Okay. One is called, well, we like to say it's the Maserati Lambo analogy, right? One's a little bit quicker than the other, but we're going to go with the real name for it. Okay. So we have our associates, bachelors, or elite, okay, which comes with results in 90 days. It's the fastest credit repair on the planet. It is done by software, done by codes, okay, and they have strategies and tricks and trades that is not done by letter format, okay, 90-day results or less. If you go with the Platinum package, okay, they are having results in under 45 days, and if you've got collections on TransUnion, under 7 days. Phenomenal. So they give you 2 options now. That's why I'm just kind of rolling this out to let you guys know. You have 2 options. Well, you actually have 3 because you can do it yourself. Okay, 18 to 24 months. Now we can condense a little bit more time and go to 90-day results. Now we can condense our time even more and say 45 days or less. And on TransUnion collections, we can they can tackle those in under 7 days. Okay, so these are your options. And this is the fastest way you're going to put 100 points on your credit report. So think about this. 5 collections on your TransUnion, Equifax, or Experian. 45 days later, 100-point increase. 18 to 24 months, try and do it yourself, figure it out. If you have a lot of time, right? What took me years to do, you can do it too. Or you can go with our option B, which is 90-day results. The vendor goes to 90-day results and they have the 45-day results, okay? So I want to help you guys. I want you to be able to get 100 points on your credit report. I want you to be able to go out. I don't want to be the only one with an 829 credit score. That doesn't do anything for me. I already got everything I want. Don't need credit. But I want you to be able to get what you want, right? So when you walk into a dealership, you're not sweating. When you're applying for a credit card, you're not freaked out. When you're trying to get an apartment, you know you can get it without a shadow of a doubt. You're not struggling, think, oh, am I going to get it? Am I ever going to get approved? Every time I go to apply for something, I get denied. Why? You're getting denied because you don't know what you're doing, and you believe that I can do this myself. I mean, I got to give it to you a little bit because you're at least, parents raised you right. At least they told you don't be a quitter, so you continue to try. I mean, I got to give it to you. It's admirable for you at least to try to do things. But again, you got heart issues. Do you want to try to do open surgery on your chest? It's dumb. Get the professionals to help you. It's much faster, much safer, and we know what we're looking for versus, I'm going to try to just dispute this. But also, you have the option of getting, like I said, you have the option of getting 75% off of Tradelines, which is by far the fastest way to put 100 plus credit points on your credit score. Getting a high limit and a trade line like that, what I talked about in this video, by far the easiest way. Push the negatives down, get those removed in either 45 or 90-day results to see deletions. Or if you don't have a lot of negatives and you just need the positives, go to the Tradeline vendor and get it for 75% off and I promise you, your score is going to skyrocket if you do this right. I want to help you guys out. Give me a call. I'm here in the office today. Give me a call, 904-420-7772. Let's get your credit score up 100 points so you can go out and do what you got to do. Instead of having bad credit, let's have a good credit. Let's go into this year with good credit so you can live literally the rest of 2021 and moving forward, because I teach you everything you need to do so you don't go backwards. Call me so I can help you change your life for you and your family. 904-420-7772. This is the easiest way to get 100 plus points on your credit score. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Mike from The Credit Game.